Hi everyone. As a learner of English, there is a possibility that you can ask yourself, why are there differences between British English and American English? Well, there are some reasons behind such differences which are going to be introduced in today's lesson. So let's see. There are some reasons why US and UK English sound so different. The first one is, and don't be so surprised, but the American English is actually older than the British English. Let's see how. Although Britain is the country that gave birth to America as we know it today, this fact is really true. The fact that American English is actually older than the British English is true. When the first settlers set sail from England to America, they took with them the common tongue at the time, which was based on something called rhotic speech. Rhotic speech means when we pronounce the R sound in a word. For example, pork or winter. Meanwhile, back in wealthy southern cities of the UK, people from the new higher classes wanted a way to distinguish themselves from everyone else. So they started changing the rhotic speech to a soft R sound. Meanwhile, they started to pronounce words like winter as winter or park as park. They tried to soften the R sound. And of course, these people were pushed and everyone wanted to copy them. By so doing, they invented a new way of speaking and pronouncing words, which is British English as we know it today. And this is the first reason. Let's move on to the second one, which speaks about the second reason how come American spelling was invented as a form of a protest. The American dictionary was made by a lexicographer called Noah Webster. Noah Webster, as we know him from the American English Dictionary Webster, who wanted American spelling to not only be more straightforward but different from the UK spelling as a way of America showing its independence from the former British rule. He wanted to clarify that America was now independent from the UK politically, and America also wanted to have its independence from the UK when it comes to the language. So he started to make some differences in the American English by dropping the letter U from the words like color and honor, which had developed from the British influence in England. British people tend to write these words with a U, but American drop the U. And it doesn't only confine to the U sound, because we can see that he changed the ISE into the IZE, because he thought American English spelling should reflect the way it's said. For example, modernize. American write it with an IZE instead of ISE. Organization, modernization, and so on. Alright, now after we know that there are some differences between the British English and the American English, and also we've known that the American accent is different from the British one. There is another question, which is, which one is better for me as a learner? Which one can I adopt, the American or the British one? Well, my answer is always, as long as you can communicate and deliver your message clearly, as long as you understand spoken English and you are understood when you are speaking naturally, it doesn't matter if you adopt any of the accent. It doesn't matter if you adopt the British accent or the American accent. What matters is you speak clearly and you pronounce accurately and correctly. Alright, let's move on to the second part of our lesson. Where are these differences? Where can we find them? Well, there are some categories in which you can find some differences between the British English and the American English. The first one is the prepositions. Let's see these examples. British people can say, he looked round the corner. But American can say, he looked around the corner. So there is a difference in the preposition. Another example, her accent is different from or to mine. British people can say this. An American can say, her accent is different from than mine. So you can find some differences in the usage of the preposition between the American people and the British people. The second one is in spelling. As we noticed earlier, there are some differences between the spelling of a word in both British and American accents. For example, color, British people tend to use the U because British English is developed from some French words, but American drop the U. And British use it as TRE, American turn it into TER because, as we said, Webster wanted the American words to be written the way they said. Defense with an S is a sound S, and traveled double L. Webster saw that there is no reason to double the L, so he used only one L. And here are the second or some differences in the second category, spelling. Let's move on to the vocabulary. Though there are some differences in spelling of some words, parts of the words, and in prepositions, Americans tend to use more different vocabulary than the British. And I chose the education sector because, as you know, we are teachers of English and learners, and these are the most common vocabulary that we can confront. For example, US people use the word grade, but UK use it as a mark. Faculty, people who work in a certain organization or premises. Staff, vacation equals holiday. Principal is the one who runs a school equals headmaster. Math without an S, math. And by the way, math is written, not capital. Only subjects of language are written in capital, math. Open house, open day. Recess equals break time. Eraser equals wrapper. Teacher's lounge equals staff room. Period equals full stop. Schedule equals timetable. Gym shoes equals plimsolls. Test equals exam. Elementary school equals primary school. Allowance equals pocket money. And here are some differences between some vocabulary in the education sector. And as you can read lots of texts, you can distinguish between the British English and the American English, considering the previous reasons that we have just shown. I hope I can make it clear for you and answer your question about the differences between the British English and the American English. So I'm awaiting your comments on this video and also your suggestions for the next topics to come. Thank you very much and have a nice day.